So today I'd like to introduce you to graphic notation, which is a way of representing music and sounds on a page instead of using traditional notation, using drawings and shapes and lines and colours. And this can be quite experimental, but it can also be really fun and useful for anyone playing traditional music, so traditional classical, pop, rock, etc. And today we're going to take a little short detour from our regular music practice and do some art and create a texture mood board, which we can then use in some of the other exercises throughout this week. And at the end of the video, there is a relaxation exercise if you'd like to stay and have a really nice, calm, focused start to your practice. Strike the spark. Welcome, I'm Erica, and I am a professional musician, composer, and a music teacher. So I love sharing my creative ways of working on music, and I also like sharing practical ways of working on music because I play both creative improvised music and also classical music, and I think there's a lot we can learn by bringing these two disciplines together. So if you'd like to follow along to the daily episodes, you can subscribe to the channel, and I also teach music online, so if you ever want to go deeper into one of our themes, you can always contact me for a lesson. I'll leave a link in the description below. So what is graphic notation? Well, you may have heard the word notation to refer to the traditional way that we read music. So we read treble clef, bass clef, we've got the notes and the rhythms. And graphic notation is to be read the same way as traditional notation, but you interpret lines, shapes, symbols, textures on a page rather than reading the notes. And it's a hugely open way of representing music, and everybody has different ideas of what graphic notation is. So maybe if you're curious, your first task is to just Google image search some graphic notation and have a look at the kinds of graphic scores that you can find. And they can be quite experimental, and often they're also really beautiful, and they give you lots of ideas for working on music beyond just playing the right notes, because we can get so focused on playing the right notes when we're trying to play classical, we're trying to play the right notes, we're trying to improvise using the right notes. So graphic notation gets us into a different headspace and allows us to think about different aspects of our music, not just playing things correctly. So today I have a really fun 5-minute exercise for your practice, and it doesn't involve any music. So if you're a bit worried about taking your precious practice time away from your instrument, then set a timer for 5 minutes and don't spend any longer than 5 minutes on this exercise. So you're going to take a piece of paper and some pencils, pens, markers. If you have a full art kit, you're welcome to get that out, but you can also keep it very, very simple. So I'm going to use just my tablet and stylus here to demonstrate this exercise. And the exercise is simply to take your page and draw 5 textures on the page. So maybe I can draw like this. So I'm going to draw some ideas. Maybe my first idea is some kind of like cross-hatching, and maybe I decide to make it really dense in one corner and less dense in the other corner. So here is texture number 1. Texture number 2, maybe I want some nice airy open circular shapes here. And then for texture number 3, maybe I'll switch to my pencil and I'll do some really thick black, and then I can shade this out to a more sparse, and then maybe we have some more dense black up here. So texture number 3. Texture number 4, maybe I will do some colored stuff, so I can do some shapes with different shades of blues and purples, just working on how they interact together. And then for texture number 5, maybe I'll draw really kind of thick area of color here, and then I will take my eraser and just kind of remove some chunks. Kind of looks like a ink stain or something like that. So here are my 5 textures. As you can see, you don't need to be an amazing artist to create 5 textures on a piece of paper, and they don't have to be very complicated. They can be as simple as you like. So this is actually all your exercise is today, is just to create your texture mood board. And so tomorrow we're going to work on how do you use these textures to make some music. And how do you use them to make improvised music, but also how do you use them to change the way that you play your repertoire and the songs that you're learning to play? So if you enjoyed this video, it would be amazing if you would give it a like, and you can leave a comment. Tell me how you found this exercise. Was it fun? Did you enjoy doing some art instead of playing music today? And if you would like, you can stick around for a very short relaxation exercise after this, just to transition into a really nice, calm, focused space for your music practice. And I will see you tomorrow with your mood board, where we can actually make some music from our textures. So thank you for watching. I'm Erica, and I will see you tomorrow. So let's just take some time to prepare the body and the mind for practice. Take out your instrument, books, music, whatever you need for your practice today, and then spend a few moments making the space comfortable. And when you're ready, coming to a place of stillness, you can stand or sit with your instrument, and then with the next exhale, gently closing the eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice where in the body you feel that breath moving: the nose, the throat, chest, diaphragm. Where you feel the rise of each inhale and the fall of each exhale. And now you can begin to count each breath. 1 with the inhale, 2 with the exhale, 3 inhale, 4 exhale. Just up to a count of 10, then returning back to 1 again. And if any thoughts appear in the mind, simply noting, thinking, or any feelings, noting, feeling, and bringing the attention back to the breath. If you find you're distracted, simply returning to the count of 1, back to 10, and then repeat back at 1. So now slowly bringing your awareness back to the body, feeling the weight of your body in the chair, or the feeling of the feet connected to the floor. Maybe the feeling of your instrument under your fingers, its texture. And then, when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, and I wish you a wonderful day's practice.